Hey everyone, how's it going? My name is Jordan, also known as Scraps, and today we're going to be making this auto overdrive synth. Now, you can use auto ARP if you have it, but if you don't, I'll show you how to create it both ways. So here's the demo example of it being in use, and here we go. And along with the synth, there's also a couple options. There's the mouth, the drive, the different body types, and the damage. So I'm going to mess around with the mouth for a few seconds and along with the other controls. So let's get to making this. I'm going to create a new Reason document. I'm going to drag out my mixer, drag down my sequencer. And for this tutorial, I'm actually going to go to my window and do Show Tool Window. And I'm going to drag all my instances to this new document. So right off the bat, I'm going to go to Utilities and drag a combinator from this window. And next, I'm going to also drag a brand new instance of Maelstrom. Instruments, Maelstrom. Now, for the synth, this is a little bit interesting. I'm going to first attack all the modulation parameters, and then the oscillators and the modulation, then finally the filters. So for the range, I'm going to set this all the way to 2. I want to push up the filter envelope to 12. I'm going to put the shift up to 36. Hold the shift. There we go. To get the finite numbers, I'm going to turn my filter all the way to positive 63. And I'm going to make sure it's set to A. For my modulator A, I'm going to turn this all the way to, let's see, curve 26. I'm going to turn on sync, and I'm going to set this to 1/4. I'm going to take my pitch down to -12, my index all the way to, let me zoom in so you can see this, all the way down to this little niche right here. So that should be about 52. Now, for the shift portion, we just leave it as is. For mod B, we don't mess with anything. For oscillator A, we want to change this to our FM2. We want to take it down an octave. We're going to take down our decay, and we're going to leave our sustain and attack where it is. We're going to turn on the 2 routing settings for filter B. For my second oscillator, I'm going to turn it on, and I'm also going to turn it to FM2. I'm going to turn up my shift all the way, and take my motion all the way down, push up my index to full. And for my first oscillator, we're also going to take down the motion all the way as well. Okay, now for the filter. We're going to choose filter B, put it at a negative combinator, make sure keyboard follow is on time, make sure this is at 100 for the frequency. For the resonance, we'll take this to about 36. And make sure shaper is turned on. Make sure the routing is turned on as well. We're going to take the amount to about 30. make sure it's on sign. And for filter A, make sure keyboard follow knob is on and turn up the resonance a bit. This resonance should be 34. Okay, now I'm going to go to my studio effects and drag in my Reason6.5.3 advanced reverb. I want to take the dry wet to about 20 and the decay to 40. Now what I'm going to do is go back to my studio effects and grab an line 6 bass amp, turn on the compressor. After this, we're going to create a found in Creative Effects. It's a Screen 4 distortion unit. Make sure it's set to modulate. And P1, you can turn that all the way to 104, although this doesn't matter. We're going to modulate the parameters anyways. We're going to take the damage control to 40. And we'll turn on body for now. After this, I'm going to go to my studio effects and choose M-Class Equalizer. Turn on low cut, parameter 1, parameter 2, and high shelf. For parameter 1, take this about 154 Hz. Gain down, Q all the way up. Parameter 2, we're going to take this to 3.829 kHz. Gain down, Q all the way up. High shelf, take that down to 3000 kHz. Boost the gain to 1.7. Take the Q to 2. Let's see. Anything else I'm missing? Oh yes, after this we're going to create an M-Class maximizer. Take off limiter, put release to auto, turn soft clip on, and make sure the amount is 127. So we're almost there. For the filter envelopes on the Maelstrom, I'm going to, I think, bring my attack not all the way up, but pretty close. I want to take my decay, I want to take that to 30. I want to put my sustain all the way down and boost my release up to 44. And for the amount, I want to change this to 44 as well. So that's how to get this synth. Now, if you have auto ARP, what you can do is you can drag it before your Maelstrom, hit tab to flip it over, and we're going to take the main gate and attach it to the sequence control of the gate of the Maelstrom. Take the CV and attach it to the CV auto ARP. Now let's see. For the patch I chose Roll Your Own. Now let me see if it's, let me see exactly where this is. Oh, can't do that. Okay, so it's in Sears Derrick. It's called Roll Your Own patch. Now if we have a listen. But that's only if you have auto ARP. So I'm gonna delete that. Now for the mastering of the synth, I'm gonna hit show programmer. For my Screen 4, we're gonna choose rotary 1 to be the master, the damage control. So rotary 1 is gonna be damage. Button 1 will have to be just turning on the, just turning it on initially. So this is set at 0, so that's bypass. So I'm going to set it to 1, and I'm going to set this to 0. Let me just make sure that turns it on and off. Yep. So actually we want this to be 2 and this to be 1. So that way it goes to bypass and an on, bypass and an on. Testing that now. Okay. So I'm just gonna type this as on. For the rotary 2 and the source down here, we're gonna choose our see. We already did damage. Now we're gonna use our P1 as cabinet. And P2 is gonna be mouth, so that's gonna be rotary 3. So I'm gonna go to my damage, choose parameter 2. For rotary 4, we can change this to A, B, C, D, and E. And we'll call this body on. Now for button 2, for our cabinet, that should be fine. For button 3, our mouth, we don't need to do anything with that. And button 4, we actually need to go to our body and choose on off. So that way it chooses it on and off. Now if we play a few chords. Not very exciting. However, when you turn on the button and the damage and start messing with it, that's when you can get some interesting results. So that's the synth we've made today, and I hope you enjoy it. And I'll check you guys out tomorrow for another tutorial. Peace.